So newsflash, I actually have two ways to show you how to tie a scarf that looks like a braid. So after you watch the first way, stay tuned for the second way and you can see which way you might think is easier or will work better for you. Hey guys, it's Jodie from Jodie's Touch of Style, and I wanted to show you an interesting way to wear a longer scarf. You can braid your scarf just like you braid someone's hair with 3 ends, moving it back and forth. So for example, I braided this print scarf. It's a very, very long yet skinny scarf, and this is what it looks like braided. Now because this one is print, it's not as easy to see the detail, so I wanted to show you on a solid colored scarf. Let's start with some of the facts. You're going to need a long scarf. So when I say long scarf, something about like this long. And it's better if it's skinny. You certainly wouldn't want to use a blanket scarf. A square scarf could be too short depending how big your square scarf is. And you want to make sure that it isn't too thick. Now when you're starting, I thought it was easier to start with a silkier scarf because it moved easier as opposed to a cotton scarf. But once you've done this a couple of times, it'll be easy no matter what kind of scarf you're using. I'm going to show this first, putting it around my neck just to get an idea of where I want to start. So how you start is you just start by tying it like that. Now you don't want it too close because you're going to take this on and off. And so you want to start it so you have room to take it on and off. And remember, once you start braiding it, you're going to have extra material around here. So it's going to get thicker around your neck. So you want to make sure there's enough material, enough space to get it on and off. Okay, so now I have a round part. That's the part that goes around my neck. We'll call that the neck. And then I have the 2 ends. We have end A and end B. And so because you have 2 ends and a neck portion, you have 3 pieces, and that's exactly what you need to braid. So just like you would braid hair, you pull an end over, pull an end over, remembering that there's always one that goes in the middle, and I always do the over. Of course, if you braid under, that would work too. And then occasionally you will take your ends and just pull them out so they don't get all tangled. And just keep braiding them like this. And look at how nicely that makes a braid. Now, the question is, when you get to the end, what do you do? I would say you have options. There's no tried fast rule. You can tie the ends in a knot if it's not too bulky. Now for me, with this scarf, my ends have this beautiful embroidery on them. And so I'm not going to tie it all the way to the ends, and I'm not going to tie these together because it would be too bulky. So one of the things I could do is use any kind of scarf clip to hold this together. I could use a tie clip. I've even been known to use like a bobby pin just to keep these ends together so they don't unravel. Now they really don't unravel very easily. So if your scarf is pretty thick and holds together nicely, you may not need to do anything with the ends. Now let's check and see if I left enough to put it over my head. I did. And so this is what it would look like on. Now if you don't want both ends over the girls, you can certainly put one towards the back and keep one in the front, or put them both in the back. But this is a fabulous way to take a long scarf with a lot of material that can overwhelm us or put too much focus on the girls when you're not wanting them to. And this way puts the focus up more by your face because you've braided the scarf, made it more like a necklace, and now it looks totally different. Now, for the second way to make your scarf look braided, I'm going to use the exact same scarf. And instead of starting with a circle around my neck, I'm going to start at one of the ends. Now, because my scarf has embroidery at the very end, I'm going to start right above that. And all you do is create a small circle knot and bring the longer portion up. So now that you have this small loop, I make it about the size of 3 fingers. So I can put 3 fingers in that loop, and then I grab the scarf again and pull it through as a loop again. 3 fingers in that loop, grab the tail. 3 fingers in that loop, grab the tail. Pull it up, 3 fingers in that loop, grab the tail. Let me maybe do one more here. 3 fingers, grab the tail. And then if you pull it, you can see, again, you have that braided look. You might have to, push it down, try to flatten it a little bit. Now you still have an open loop here. You need to grab the tail and pull it all the way through to basically tie it off so it doesn't unravel. Now you have that pretty braid, which would be in the front, or maybe you want to use it as a headband. But the difference with this one is you now have to figure out how to get it to stay with the ends. And this could be accomplished if you had, say, a magnet, or if you're okay with pinning your scarf. Or you could maybe just tuck it in, whatever you're wearing, just depending on what you want it to look like and what you have to use to tie it off. So there's 2 different ways to braid your scarf, just depending what you think is easier for you. Thanks.